me to your heart. I belong to you. Take me to your.
Hey everybody! Thank you again for joining us on our show. What's Cookin' SoCal? I know you guys are going to be excited today. We have a special guest. We have Tony Beast Mode Serrano. So I know you guys are going to enjoy our podcast today. See you guys in a bit. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. So just wanted to give you guys a quick market update of what's going on in the industry with rates. Interest rates are still very, very low, as a lot of you guys know. There is a lot of talk right now of tapering. Back in 2013, we had tapering, quantitative easing, which meant that the government was going to stop buying mortgage-backed securities. When that happened in 2013, interest rates started to increase little by little. Back then, interest rates got up to about 4.5%. So there's a talk right now that there's going to be some tapering, but it's not going to happen probably until next year. Europe just announced that they're going to start doing it now. So that might put some pressure on the U.S. to start doing that as well. What that means to you as real estate agents in the industry, mortgage lenders, and consumers is that interest rates will eventually start to increase. So if you have any clients right now that are still on the fence, make sure you guys reach out to them, get them to do something, whether it's going to be refinancing to lower interest rates or looking into buying. So make sure you get them off the fence. So with that in mind, I wanted to welcome my special guest today, Tony. I call him Beast Mode because this guy is on fire all the time. Tony, the broker Serrano. Thank you so much, Tony, for joining us today.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity to be here, Carlos. Very blessed to be here today. So thank you again.
Yeah. So Tony, you've been with Century 21 Realty Masters for a while now. You've been actually in the real estate business now since 2006. Correct?
That's correct.
And you specialize with investors, sellers, mostly in the Southeast LA area, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. All right, very good. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about today, Tony, is what helps us stand apart, right, from other real estate agents in the industry. I mean, there's a lot of competition. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Competition is fierce. And I think that's the nature of the business, is just always iron sharpens iron. Is just always, being able to read, learn, educate yourself, to be out there and to be considered the best of the best. You have to work with the best of the best and just be ready, just continually just sharpening and just being educated on the changes in today's market and having a great team and partnerships in place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the things that, we discussed a little bit earlier about what's different about you, right? I mean, I work with a lot of real estate agents, and one of the things that I noticed about you is your energy that you bring to the table. Every time I see you in the office, man, you are a power of energy, right? You're like on fire all the time, and even when you say hi to people, you just get everybody pumped up, and I really appreciate that about you, because every time I shake your hand, man, you're like, let's go, let's do it, and that's great. I don't see a lot of people that do that. So what do you think? How do you get motivated? In other words.
You know what? It's all about just mindset and just waking up in the morning, just with the, the attitude of gratitude, just blessed to be alive for another day of life. And I think it's so easy to take, the simple things for granted. So just to be able to wake up and just to have the opportunity to be able to be with family, friends, be able to be blessed with the opportunity of being in real estate and helping others sell and buy. It's just having that mindset. And you know what? We're here. Life is short. Let's just make it happen. Stay positive and just be a blessing to everyone that we encounter. So I'm like, let's go, baby. Let's make it happen.
Right. That's right. Awesome. One of the questions too, is it a good time to buy or sell right now? What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, like everything, right? I mean, there's always sellers that are ready to sell and buyers that are ready to buy. The market has been very hot and properties have been selling quick like hotcakes. And I tell all my sellers that are on the fence, definitely a procrastination is the biggest enemy. So just, make sure to make that decision that if you're ready to sell, just do it now and capitalize of maximizing your equity and selling for above asking prices. So for sellers, especially right now, as we get into the third, fourth quarter, and we just finished Labor Day. Now is the time to sell. In regards to buyers, I do see that the challenge is becoming less challenging to getting offers accepted. And like everything, if your lender, for example, if Carlos says, you know what, this is the rate and you can afford the payment, if the payment makes sense, then do not procrastinate, do not hesitate. Regardless of if prices are high or interest rates are high or low, as long as you could afford that monthly payment, that's the keys to capitalize on it and be able to have the right team in place to negotiate and get your offer into escrow. So if you can afford the payment, definitely now is a great time to buy. Sellers, let's make it happen. So good time.
One of the things that, and you mentioned that some people right now, they're afraid, right? They're afraid because prices keep increasing. I mean, every week we see prices just elevate. If it's listed at a certain price, it's selling usually for what, like $15,000-$20,000 over listed price. And I've noticed that some buyers still don't understand that. They want to make lower offers, or they want to make offers at price. Well, what do you recommend buyers do right now?
Well, the key is, like everything, it's being coachable and understanding that when you're working with your agent, when you're working with your lender, that we're all poised and we have the experience to be able to guide you. And as long as buyers understand that this is a competitive market, we have to write up short contingencies and many times having to waive the appraisal. But as long as, once again, the pricing is correct and the buyer is ready to make it happen, I think you can get into escrow without any issues. It has been a challenge, but once again, as we start seeing that, we start going into the end of the year, I have been seeing a lot of properties back on the market and a lot of buyers being able to negotiate. So the key is negotiating and making the payment affordable, and just listening and knowing that real estate is a long-term investment. Mm-hmm. So you can never go wrong with purchasing and making it happen. So if we can get your offer into escrow and close, that's the biggest blessing, is home ownership.
One of the things that we discussed also was faith versus fear. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes.
Faith versus fear.
Yes. Faith versus fear, and the mindset is so key. I want to, say thank you to a very successful businessman, very smart, and he's my mentor, and I've had the opportunity to call him my friend, and that's Mr. JJ Lopez. Has always installed the concept, and it's embedded in my mindset every day: faith versus fear. The reality of it is we all have the same fears, right? We all have the fear of rejection, the fear of saying no, the fear of being hung up on when you're cold calling. So no matter if you're a rookie in the business or if you're seasoned for 20, 30, 40 years, we're all human. And with that human factor, we all have and share the same fears. But to overcome those fears, you have to have faith. You have to have faith as small as a mustard seed to be able to believe and know that I will not leave the office until I make something great happen. Whether I have to call 30 calls, 60 calls, 100 calls, knock on doors, whatever it takes, you have to have that faith that you are the best at what you do and that you're able to make something great happen today. So it's all about having that mindset, and through the power of just that belief in God and knowing that He will give you the capability, He will guide you. And the other thing is believing in yourself. You can overcome any obstacle. Yes, it's a seller's market. It's tough to get offers accepted, but you know what? I'm making it happen. I know there's a lot of successful agents in my office that are making it happen. And it's all about just believing and having that belief system that you can and you are the best and you can make it happen for your clients. So it's just faith, but it's that mindset. It's constantly feeding your mind, having your inner circle, having that circle of accountability that's going to push you to get better. That's going to always make sure that when you're having a tough day, because let's face it, there's days where I want to leave the office early. I'm frustrated. I'm just tired of making phone calls. But then I'm like, no, there's one person out there that's waiting for me to give them a call and give them that hope and let them know that I have the right team in place. I have Carlos Flores. I have my Tyler reps. I have Lincoln Escrow. I have the team in place that we can get their offer accepted. So always remember, there's that one person that they're waiting for you to take that step of action. And right when you're ready to give up, it could be that very next call or that door that you knock. So it's all about being consistent, having the discipline, and just make it happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's one of the next things I want to talk about is, what does it mean to stand out? And you just mentioned it. It's the consistency, right? I've noticed that when I'm consistently doing my prospecting, I'm always busy, right? My business tends to not have those big giant peaks and valleys. We always in sales, it's always those big giant peaks and good month, bad month, good month. So the job is always to have this. You're always going to have peaks and valleys, but trying to make them smaller, not those big giant ones where you don't get paid for a month or two. So what helps you stay consistent in this business?
Well, once again, it's your inner circle. It's accountability. It's knowing that you treat being self-employed is a challenge, but you have to treat it as a W-2, as a 9 to 5, to be consistent at being at the office at a certain time, to make sure you make your contacts, and once again, overcoming the fear of rejection, overcoming, oh my God, I've been at working and being on the phone for 3-4 hours, I haven't done anything. It's having that mental strength to say no, I will make something great happen today, and just being consistent, because we all, once again, get frustrated, we get tired, writing up multiple offers and not, getting it rejected. So it's very frustrating, and we are in a very tough business. But once again, if you have that discipline and you have your circle of accountability, and because we're the sum of the 5 people that we hang out with or that we interact with daily. So as long as you have your circle of influence, and with me, what I love to do, I love to work out. First thing in the morning, it gives me that energy. It gets the blood flowing, so it gives me that energy to make it happen. And all of us, we're all blessed with the gift. Some of us are great on the phones. Some of us are better at door knocking, doing open houses. But we all have a gift. We're all blessed with a talent. So the key is digging down deep and knowing what your talent is, and just working, and being disciplined, and hard work always pays off. And right when you feel like, man, I'm just tired, I'm frustrated, it's saying no, shake it off, look yourself in the mirror and said, I was created to do something great. We're blessed to be in this business of real estate, to provide home ownership, and there's people that are waiting on us. And if I miss the opportunity, guess what? The next hardworking agent is going to capitalize and get that opportunity. So it's having that mindset of, yes, I will make something happen. I will get new listings, new buyers into escrows. And the biggest enemy is yourself. That's all it is. Once I tweaked my mindset and I made that decision that no matter what obstacle comes into my life, no matter how rough a day I'm having, we all have personal issues, but no, I'm going to overcome. And if I have to make a phone call to a good friend of mine to say, hey, I'm going through this, have your go-to person. Hey, Carlos, you know what? I'm having a rough day. I had this deal fall out of escrow. And knowing that Carlos, as my lender partner, is going to be able to say, Tony, you got this, make it happen. So your key, your circle is so crucial of who's going to lift you up and motivate you to be the best that you can be.
Yeah, and accountability. I mean, you keep mentioning accountability, and at your offices, you guys have great accountability. You guys have good managers that everybody can look up to. Even some of your top real estate agents, they're very open if you guys need any help. So it's super important to have that accountability. I mean, I have my mentors that I reach out to, that if I need something, I can reach out, text, call, and hey, this is the issue that I'm having. I think the reason why most of us don't ask for help is because of our ego, right? Our ego gets in the way and we don't ask for help, or we think we know it all, right? We've been in the business so long, we all need help. Whether you're in the business 40 years or 10 years, 2 years, we all need a little bit of help to keep pushing us in the industry. Do you agree?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You're only as good as your team. Yeah. And when you're on a strong team, we're all going to have, rough days and off days, but it's having that accountability. And, once again, being here at Century 21 Realty Masters, we have accountability. And, starting with JJ Lopez, Julian, Dan, we all have that accountability of making it happen. What are you doing today? Are you being productive? And that's the key, is having, that circle, and knowing that, hey, if I'm having a bad day or something's going on, I'm going to get that phone call and say, hey, Tony, what are you doing? How's your day? So it all comes down with leadership. Everything starts with leadership, but ultimately, let's keep it real. We have the best leadership, but if I don't say I'm going to make it happen today, no matter how much coaching, how many podcasts, how many, Mike Ferry events, that I go to, David Halper, no matter what I do, unless I make that conscious decision, it's not going to happen. So yes, leadership is key, but it all starts with you making that decision that today is going to be a great day. I'm going to make something great happen today, regardless. And at the end of the day, even, I've had days where, it's been extremely difficult. But when you look at yourself in the mirror and you said, you know what, I did my best. I tried. You can go to bed knowing I was the best version of Tony the Broker Serrano. Start fresh tomorrow. That's why my energy level is so high, because I just love the opportunity to help others. And people, they can sense when you're genuine. People can size you up. People know if you're being real or if you're just being a salesman and telling them a script. So once they see that you're genuine and you're truly in the battlefield, you're in the trenches, you're taking calls, you're making it happen, you will get that support, and good things will happen if you make that decision that you've got this, you can do this.
Now you're a beast on the phone, and we were talking about this yesterday too. On the phone, I mean, how do a real estate agent or how do lenders connect easier on the phone with, let's say, a cold call, right? I know cold calls, I don't like, I'm not good at cold calling. I'm terrible at cold calling, but there's some people like you that are really good on the cold calls. What do you suggest?
Well, the key is tonality, right? The tone of your voice, right? If you're, coming off, this is Tony Serrano, do you want to buy or sell? People are going to feed off that, and you're going to get click, right? But if you come off and you're like, what can I do to help you out today? If you can bring the V word, okay, Tony, what is the V word? If you can bring value and people can sense that within the first 30 seconds, if people can sense that you're here to bring in value and to help them in the long term, they're going to want to work with you. But it's all about tonality. And a lot of times what I do is I have a mirror next to me. So I look at myself and I'm able to see, am I smiling? Am I having the right facial expressions? Because people can feel that. So the key is just being consistent. And yes, you do get, of course, the rude people that hang up, that don't want to hear. And you know what? It's okay. Have thick skin. That's the key is don't get discouraged, but use that discourage. Okay, I got 3 people that have hung up on me. Guess what? I'm going to get 3 opportunities. I'm not going to give up. And the key is just, showing that you truly want to help that person. So, I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. We all have, that gift to make it happen.
One of the things that I always talk about is having a good relationship with your clients. About 80% of my clientele are probably past clients of mine that keep referring me business. For me, it's always important to go deeper in the relationship with our clients and not keep them, treat them as numbers. What do you do to keep getting business from your past clients?
And you know what? I'm glad that you touched on this, because one of the key things, and especially, working with you, Carlos, is there's a form, and I know that we're going to talk about that soon, but it's called the It's All About You form. And the key is people want to know that you are truly taking interest in who they are and not just looking at them as another number. Okay, we open escrow, close, on to the next. People want to know that you truly care. When is your birthday? What are your hobbies? What's your favorite restaurant? People want to know that you care. And a lot of times people don't know how much you care until you let them know. So you can't assume that because you're working with a client that they're going to expect that, oh, yes, you care about the business. Yeah, we want to make sure we open and close escrow. But what about the person? What about the family? What about the grandkids? What about the situation we're going through with COVID and all the turmoil? People want to know that you care, but you have to show them you care. So that It's All About You format, it's so crucial, because I've gotten so much feedback from just people being excited, and people are, just saying, hey, Tony, you know what? Yes, I do love the Dodgers. I'm excited for football season. It's my grandkid's birthday. It's this, like they say, it's the small things that count. And in the partnership that I've had working with you, Carlos, that's one of the things that has stood out to me with working with you and your company, is that form and just showing that you're genuine. And you know what? The business will come. The referrals will come. Your phone, instead of you calling, you're going to start getting calls from clients to generate business.
That's true. Now, one of the reasons why we use the same form, if let's say you have a client that is a Dodger fan, right? And it's their birthday. Do you really want to send them something that's Angels or Yankees? Of course not, right? You want to make sure that it's geared towards whatever their likes are. So if they're into a certain candy bar, and it's their birthday, send them a candy bar. There's the little things. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but those little things is what shows that you care about that person. And we have a database. In our database, we add up all those things. So when I do talk to a client, I pull up the CRM system and I could see what they're into, what the husband's name is, the kid's name. So it does help because we deal with so many people to relate back to what their likes are.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And that's why, and I'm glad you touched on that, your partnerships, with your vendors, your lenders, your title reps, your escrow, all that is key because we're all a team and we're a reflection of each other. So knowing that, if I give a name and a phone number to Carlos, he's going to work on getting, the pre-qualification done, provided the best service. It's all about having the right players on the right team to be part of being successful.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me see here real quick. All right. So just going through my notes here, Tony, and thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. You're a ball, like I said, you're a ball of energy, man. It's I love when you come in and you step into the room and you just make it happen. One of the things that I usually do is I go on, I listen to some of my CDs, my Tony Robbins, Les Brown, a lot of the motivational stuff that gets me pumped up. I actually feel that when I go to your office and I see you, man, you're like pumped up and, hey, let's make it happen today. How do you do that?
Let's go. Let's make it happen. Let's make it a great day. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just
So
having that energy.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
You know what? People feed off of that, Carlos, and I'm glad that you brought that up. And that's the key. And everybody's different, right? Everybody has, a different personality, and that's okay. The key is when you're you, people are going to appreciate you for who you are. I just happen to be a ball of energy. That's just my personality, but it doesn't take away from somebody that's quiet, that's reserved. There's nothing wrong with that. The key is just being you, being genuine. And there's 3 questions that I ask myself that I just kind of want to put out there as nuggets, little nuggets for us to think about. So my first question is, I always ask, are you adding enough value? Is Tony Serrano adding enough value with the people that I engage with? Whether a lot of times, you do work, with buyers that are on the fence. And the key is providing that value, knowing that they may not even work with you or they may work with somebody else. But as long as you bring value, guess what? People will appreciate that. And I have had, past clients that have come and told me, you know what, Tony, because you answered this question or because, you did this that you didn't have to do. Now I'm referring you my brother, sister. And I'm saying this with all humility. It's just the key. And no matter what you do or who you engage with, it's bringing value and people will appreciate that. My next question, number 2, is, are you in enough places where people know who you are? Are you getting yourself out there? And obviously we understand with the constraints of COVID, it's changed things, but, even this podcast, social media, Instagram, Facebook, are you making it a point to have your name out there? Are enough people getting to know you and know who you are? The key is marketing and having that exposure and finding different ways to market yourself and having people get to know about you. So that's my question number 2. My last one is, are you so good at what you do that people can't ignore you? Are you just putting in the work where no matter what you're doing, people just are like, man, Tony, you're bringing that energy. Carlos, I appreciate you having that deal that was falling out of escrow, but you were able to bring it back to life and close. Are you just getting that reputation? And like everything, right? Bad news travels quicker than good news. But the key is making sure that you are good at what you do. Once again, whether it's in person, whether it's cold calling, open houses, mailer. I mean, whatever it is that you do, you have to be good at it. And like everything, practice becomes perfect. Being successful isn't an overnight success. I'm in the process. I'm still learning. There's so much that I need to learn, and that's the key, is being coachable. And regardless of whether you just started in the business or you're in the business 30 years, it's just being coachable and having that mindset that I want to be the best, where people just can't ignore you. Oh, there's Tony again. There's that energy. There's that Tony the broker. But you're so good at it that you just create that vibe, that energy. So those are my 3 questions that I just want everybody to think about. And that's what helps me, that I ask myself every day. And that helps to keep me going.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Now, and I just want to let everybody know, the audience know, that this is actually Tony's first time that we've actually done a video podcast. And Tony, you did amazing, man. You're really good, natural on camera. So thanks for joining us. really, I think this was one of those things that you wanted to step out of your comfort zone, right?
And that's once again, not being repetitive on the whole concept of faith versus fear. I mean, I woke up nervous. I couldn't sleep good last night just thinking about this, and I had to overcome my own fear. This is my first podcast. I mean, as you know, Carlos, we're live, so there's no faking the funk. If you make a mistake, there's no editing. What you see is what you get. So I had to overcome my own personal fear of, you know what, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to be genuine, and I'm going to overcome the fear of not doing a podcast. And I put this out to everybody that's watching this. If I could do this my first time, you can do it. You have the same ability. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. You just have to overcome that fear and do it, make it happen. Once again, a big shout out to my partner, Carlos Flores. He's amazing to work with. If you haven't had the opportunity, he's good at what he does. He's genuine, and he communicates. So thank you, Carlos, for the opportunity. And
appreciate it.
Let's make it happen.
Thank you,
baby.
Tony. Thank you so much, Tony. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. One of the things that I wanted to announce, because of course this is called What's Cookin' SoCal, I do have a new cooking competition I'm going to be in October 9th. It's going to be in Riverside. It's called Burnt Offerings. So my team is going to be out there competing, and wish us luck. It's going to be October 9th in Riverside. I'll send out some information if you guys want. Also, if any of you are interested in doing using the same form that I use, and Tony started utilizing as well, the All About You form, please reach out to me. We can even customize it to your branding, and start using it so you guys can start generating some more business for yourselves and for your past clients. Thank you so much, everybody. Also, last thing I want to announce, we do have a new website. It is called what'scookinsocal.com. So it's just a website that we created for the projects. We're going to be able to post videos. If anybody is interested in having us speak at their next meeting, please reach out, sign up on our website. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you guys soon. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully, you guys can come to the next one as well. And you got good information on today's episode. We're going to put my information down below. If you have any questions that I can help you with, or if you have clients that we can help as well, please reach out to us. If you want any information on our special guest, their information is also going to be below, or just shoot me an email and we'll send that over to you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Take care.